Hey, how's it going today, 251? So today we're going to go over the different cogs. So you've got your friendly cog and you've got your enemy cog. So as the name suggests, friendly cog is the friendly cog. So it's your cog. So basically cog, or center of gravity, is what allows the one thing that allows you to conduct operations in terms of friendly cog. What is it that if you couldn't do that, you would fail in your mission in the ops design that we talked about previous? So what we have right here is a Dr. Strange model. This is one I did for the Yemen Civil War. So the center of gravity me and my team chose was COIN, or counterinsurgency operations. And the way you initially get that is by this thing called a mind map. And basically what you do is you write down all the things that you need that are part of your objectives, or things that you need to do in order to just, what are your different objectives, what are some things that are available, and you just start drawing lines to the ones that are connected. So as you can see, Iran, allies, fighting terrorists, all those are connected. Money, all those connected, and then whichever one has the most lines connecting to it, that's usually your center of gravity. So after you've determined your friendly center of gravity, you then move on to something called the critical capabilities, or CC. So critical capabilities are what are things that allow you to do your cog, or what does your cog allow you to do? So by conducting COIN operation, it allows us to gain stability in the Middle East, destroy AQAP, and then take control of the strait. This is the strait between Somalia and Yemen. Just for your reference. But so these COIN allows us to do these three things that are considered critical to the mission. So as you can see, there's some fancy lines connecting them. That lines are just kind of help you keep it organized for when you get over to the critical requirements, or CR. So critical requirements are what do you need in order to conduct your CC. So what are the things that, if you didn't have those, your critical capabilities would not work? So for example, destroying AQAP, we're going to need some close air support, we're going to need air refueling, we're going to need intel, we're going to need boots on the ground. Just as a few very small things. Of course, we'll need space for those of you in Colonel Kaz's class. Those things are what we need in order to destroy AQAP. We have to have those things, otherwise we'll be unable to effectively destroy AQAP. So that then leads us to our critical vulnerabilities. Basically, what a critical vulnerability is it's one of your critical requirements. So what critical requirement are you going to target in order to basically cause a chain reaction all the way back to the center of gravity? So for this one, we chose Intel, so CAA is a critical vulnerability. So basically, if we take out critical vulnerability, then we won't be able, if we take out the critical vulnerability of the Intel, then they lose the critical requirement of Intel, which then causes them to lose the critical capability of Intel, which then degrades their COIN operations, since they won't be able to complete one of their objectives using COIN of destroying AQAP. So that's basically the difference between the COG, the CC, CR, and CV. So now moving on, that's another mind map. So next we have the enemy cog. So basically the goal is you want to defend your friendly cog. So these CVs are what you're trying to defend. You're trying to defend your ability to get public support. You're trying to defend Intel. You're trying to defend U.S. presence, U.S. Navy presence in the Red Sea. So that way, by defending all those things, you're able to more effectively defend your cog. Your end goal is to defend your cog from the enemy, because while you're trying to take their cog out, they're also trying to take your cog out. So moving on to the more fun thing of taking out the enemy's cog. So basically what you do the exact same thing you do for the friendly cog. Do a mind map. Okay, what are all these buzzwords? Okay, let's draw a connection. Oh look, public support. Big shocker for COIN operations. So cog, so you've got public support. So what does public support allow your enemy to do? So now at this point you're looking at it from the enemy perspective. So if they have public support, then they're allowed to do these three critical capabilities, like we discussed. Okay, so what are some critical requirements we need in order to View this. Okay. We need to gain territories and occupying forces and supplies. Okay, welcome to target. Oh, what do you know? We've got some pretty awesome interdiction capabilities. Oh, and what do you know? We're also really good at killing people. So those are two things we can target for their critical vulnerabilities in order to degrade and defeat their cog. So that's basically how cog analysis works. Once you're done with all that, then you can move into something called the Carver model. I don't know if this is too in-depth for you guys or not, but I'll just briefly go into it. Basically, these right here are what is necessary in order to, or different ways how to score your cog. So for you math types out there, this is basically just a spreadsheet that allows you to score and then allows you to rack and stack your critical vulnerabilities, so you know which ones to target first. Alright, that's all I've got for you guys for this video, so have a great Air Force day.